because doing so will not succeed.
So Representative Schiff is testing a fundamental principle of Western society, which is namely that if you have if you have a rhetorician and a physician walk into a city, the rhetorician will always be able to be awarded the job of physician, regardless of the physician's technical prowess. Which I guess is why I've tried very hard to learn rhetoric, so that I can respond to people who have a certain casual relationship with the truth, with some good turns of phrase and facts, all at the same time. I try. I'm probably very bad at it. I don't know. I'm like a lot of you. I'm very frustrated with this. I'm very frustrated that we haven't been allowed to have an open debate leading up to today. In the same way that I am frustrated at the way that the Freedom Conservative Party of Alberta, and nothing to do with the presidential election, but the Freedom Conservative Party of Alberta's board stole the leadership election from start to finish from me. And by the way, that means people who supported me, people who may have wanted to take 3 seconds to think, should I vote for the fat tranny screenwriter on welfare? Nope, those 3 seconds are important to the functioning of a democracy. They're important to representative democracy because it's supposed to be multi-layered. It's supposed to be as many groups as possible, and the majority, while it must rule, must fiercely defend the rights of the minority. I have no problem with an open process. I am intensely frightened of people who are so threatened by an open process and the potential embarrassment it may cause. If you're potentially embarrassed by a debate, maybe it's because you have something to be embarrassed by. And we should have more debate so that we can have a little bit of mortification and then better policy. But no, we would rather be isolated from all of the problems of the little people. See, that's the thing that bothers me. 6 MLAs stripped of committee assignments, which, I'm sorry, I said that in the wrong order, but ministerial posts is one thing, because cabinet solidarity requires that you support the policies that your government has arrived at, no matter how incredibly stupid, short-sighted, horizontally oppressive, and unnecessarily expensive they are. Oh, and they kill a lot of poor people. But, that's something that we've just seen that neither the Kenny Conservatives nor the Notley-crats care about, because the Notley-crats would rather have an easier day for members of the credential class than they would enact policies that get off Albertans' backs when it comes to Karen 19. Premier Notley, former Premier Notley, had every opportunity to get up on her hind legs and say, hey, we probably shouldn't be spending public money making it harder to buy medicine that's safer than birth control, never mind aspirin. And by the way, Derek Fildebrandt's election night murmurings to his backroom staff, as reported to me by a campaign insider to the contrary. I never said the government should pay for hormone replacement, cis or trans. I want the government to get the heck out of the way, because I have a feeling that a course of HRT probably costs about as much as a course of vitamin D3, which, by the way, you should all be taking. I also want to ask, you know what? It cost our economy $3.2 billion thereabouts if we're looking at the relative reduction in GDP of Sweden versus other Scandinavian countries. And we say that the lockdowns cost 1% of GDP, which, by the way, is being super generous to these lockdowns. I mean, just the business relationships that come from having a coffee with members of your family alone once in a while. I hate to tell you, there's a lot of nepotism in Western economies in the late 20th and early 21st century. We've become corrupt, folks. I think Peterson gives a talk on Joe Rogan about that and what side of the political spectrum that puts me on, despite being a conservative. Yeah, it seems another Republican is straightening up their mask. I think I noticed this before, but I've seen all the Republicans, like, they touch their masks a lot to reset them. And, the real COVID Karens out there are going to be like, oh, they can't put their mask on. And I think it is a brilliant piece of dual political messaging. It's to the anti-maskers, or shall we say the super spreaders, because again, they spread 3% more viral particles via droplets. And this is per the Center for Disease Control, the NIH, or the WHO. I forget. The Last American Vagabond has reported on this. He's used acceptable official sources that you shouldn't get banned or shadow banned, but of course you do, because you had the wrong opinion. You had the wrong opinion based on the right data. So, see, it's not even about fact control. We're not even allowed to have opinions now. Even when we use official facts. Even when we, the good, upstanding, Goldsteinist opposition, use Newspeak to make our arguments, we're not heard. I went on a bit of a rant there, but it's beyond irritating. But yes, what I think the Republicans are doing... Sorry, I went on a rant about mask policy, because mask policy is currently nonsensical. It's ableist, it's classist, and it's probably hurting people. And we really need to have a fulsome debate about the science of this. Because guess what? Science is not supposed to be a settled thing. And Credential Boy, you should be able to back me up on this, because you're the one who made me fall in love with Galileo 5. So you didn't think I'd be able to pull you into this, but you're now freaking drafted, bucko. Sorry, that's my line for Jordan Peterson, but we'll save that for a while. No, I call upon all the luminaries, because I don't know, a compulsive starfucker. Something like that. I'm not sure. I think the thing that... Peterson says, always assume someone else has something to tell you. And I think the thing that Conrad Black has to tell us is, you're going to need some of the elite to go along with you and recognize that the current system is failing and is going to take everyone with it. Or as Mark Blythe says, the Hamptons is not a defensible position. I wonder how many, sorry, this is bigger than the Super Bowl. And here I am, like, live streaming during it. Yeah, the Democrat is not going to touch his mask. Representative Raskin is up. I don't know if this counts as live blogging. I'm not as quick as I normally am. In fact, at one point, I'm pretty sure... No, that's right. I'm trying to remember. I should... I can't look it up. That's right, because it was on a contact form. But I asked the boys, the trailer park boys, not the characters, but the guys who make it, come to Alberta during this election, 2019, which transpired, and have some 3 hours, two guys with a curling clock going click, your turn, click, your turn, click, your turn, click, your turn. I think you'd find it turns into more of a discussion than a debate, but I was saying, do that, call it a Lincoln fucking Douglas debate, maybe have different rules for, what level of blood alcohol content you're supposed to reach. Make it a little bit fun, because I honestly think 21 hours of discussion is going to be better than 90 minutes of prepared talking points anytime. I want to know how much thinking people have done about an issue. I want to know what really is driving them. I want to get a sense of the people who are going to make life or death decisions. And then, by the way, I want them to continually justify themselves. I know I'm a crazy... I've been called everything from a neo-fascist to I got called a commie for saying that capitalism doesn't accurately, in every single case, or even the vast majority of cases, reward merit, but instead tends to reward merit, and that's so valuable in terms of discovering and incentivizing the discovery of valuable that it's worth most of those inequities, especially if we can ensure that people aren't suffering extreme poverty, since we're rich enough to ensure that nobody suffers extreme poverty. Yeah, that makes me a communist, I guess. Yeah. Because Marx, Peterson said, I think I'm getting a warning thing from my phone. Peterson said, always assume someone has something to tell you. And I assume that means everyone. Maybe I'm misreading him. Talk to you soon.